for joining our senior warden, David Walker, and myself for a little talk about how we're doing as we put together our 2021 budget. There are a couple of things that we just want to talk to the congregation about. One is how our stewardship campaign is shaping up. This is always the month when it sort of gets pulled in together, and then we somehow take it, put the numbers in, see what we spent last year, and come out with a new budget for the year ahead, and talking about what it is that we want to accomplish in 2021, which is always exciting. So thank you for joining me, David.
Absolutely.
Here we are at the rectory. There's a few construction projects going on, so there may be a slight interruption from something, who knows, but I'm sure we'll get through that interruption as we have all year gotten through interruptions. So, first off, I just want to update us on where we are with our stewardship campaign this year. We have received 58 pledges for financial support for the year ahead, totaling $162,762. It's amazing that it's such a $62. Who knows? Who knew?
Yeah.
I think what happens is we get some designated
Right.
pledges for something like, to repair a window or something, and that's where the $2 comes in.
But we value every dollar.
And
so
indeed we do.
those $2 count.
They do. They certainly count. Now, just to compare that to last year, for our 2020 budget, we had 70 pledges for a total of $184,512. The $2 showed back up again. So we are about $22,000 short. Now, I'm not too worried about that, and nor is our treasurer, Denny Murphy, and our budget committee, because the pledges that we're missing, there's 12 pledges, many of them are from people who are longtime members of St. Paul's, longtime donors to St. Paul's, and we think that they will trickle in, as they typically do. Usually we get the last of our pledges in January, and that's just the way it is. I will say, if you haven't gotten your pledge in yet, please do, so that we can keep moving more confidently as we go ahead with our budget. Let's talk about other sources of revenue that we have at St. Paul's.
Yeah, I think one of the real benefits this year that we've seen is, oddly enough, our plate offerings are up, even though we've been virtual nearly every month, which was a really, really great surprise and really shows the level of commitment of the congregation and broader community. So, thank you so much for that. And I think it's something we're trying to understand, so that if we continue our virtual services, how do we engage people that have been giving this year, despite the fact we haven't been able to meet in person much of the time.
Yeah, and I've been doing some reading and talking with other rectors and within the diocese about how the church is going to be changed moving forward. And one of those ways is in this virtual giving. And I think that accounts for one reason why our plate giving has been up. And also in our case, I think another thing that accounts for that is the role that we have in this community. That people see what we do on Sunday with the community meal and with the shower ministry, and they understand that our ministries are really important to this community, and we need financial support in order to continue them. Yeah. So, what are some of the points of our 2021 budget?
So we're in the middle of trying to firm that up, and I would like to give Denny Murphy and the Budget Committee a huge shout out, because they do a huge amount of work trying to predict the future, and I think they do a really incredible job. They've tended to be very close to, the projections have tended to come in very close to our actual budget, which speaks volumes about what great work they do. Based on our current projections, we're probably gonna have a budget for 2021 that's essentially flat or similar to 2020. As Sally mentioned, we're looking at filling whatever revenue gaps there are currently by doing additional outreach and so on. We're also, of course, looking at things like grants. We mentioned plate. Hopefully, when we can meet in person again, we'll be able to get some event revenue, which has essentially gone away this year because of COVID. So that's kind of one side, looking for additional revenue sources. The other thing we always look at is, are there ways to find additional efficiencies in the way we do business?